like my video, subscribe to my channel for more.
Far away from her village, in a busy town filled with noise and rushing people, lived a young woman named Amina. Amina was known by everyone who met her as a very beautiful and kind-hearted woman. But more than her beauty, people admired her gentle spirit and the way she cared for others. Amina had left her parental home many years ago to find work so she could support her family. Life was not easy for her. She worked long hours in a small shop, saving every coin she could so she could send money back home to her parents. Even though she was far away, her heart was always with her mother and father in their small village. One afternoon, while Amina was cleaning the shop shelves, her phone suddenly rang. The number on the screen was from her village. Her heart started beating fast. She answered quickly. On the other end of the phone, a neighbor spoke with a worried voice, "Amina, please come home as soon as possible. Your mother is very sick. Her condition is very bad. We don't know if she will survive." The words hit Amina like a heavy stone. Her hands began to shake. Tears filled her eyes. Her mother had always been her greatest supporter, the one who prayed for her every day. Without wasting a second, Amina asked her boss for permission to leave. She packed a small bag and gathered all the money she had saved. It wasn't much, but it was everything she had. She rushed to the taxi station, hoping to catch the last taxi that was traveling to her village. The sky was turning orange as the sun slowly set. The drivers were already calling for their last passengers, last taxi to Kejona village. One driver shouted. Amina ran toward it, holding her bag tightly. If she missed it, she would have to wait until the next morning, and she feared it might be too late for her mother. But as she hurried toward the taxi, something on the side of the road caught her attention. Near a dusty corner sat a man who looked weak and wounded. His clothes were torn, and his body was covered with dirt and blood. He was trembling with pain. He was a beggar. People walked past him without even looking. Some shook their heads. Others avoided him completely. The man tried to lift his hand and whispered weakly, "Please, help me." Amina stopped walking. Her mind was filled with fear for her mother, but her heart could not ignore the suffering man in front of her. She looked at the taxi. The driver was already starting the engine. Then she looked at the wounded man again. In that moment, she faced a very difficult choice. If she helped the man, she might miss the taxi and spend the money meant for her mother's treatment. If she ignored him, she could reach her mother quickly. For a few seconds, she stood silently. Then Amina made her decision. Kindness was stronger than fear. She turned away from the taxi and rushed toward the wounded beggar. "Don't worry," she said softly. "I will help you." She struggled to support the weak man and slowly helped him into a small motorcycle taxi nearby. "Please take us to the nearest hospital," she told the rider. At the hospital, the doctors quickly began treating the man. His injuries were serious, and he needed medicine immediately. The hospital staff asked for payment. Amina opened her small bag and took out all the money she had saved. The money she had planned to use for her sick mother. For a moment, she hesitated. Then she remembered the pain in the beggar's eyes. Without another thought, she gave the money to the hospital. "Please save him," she said. When everything was finished, Amina stepped outside the hospital. Her bag was now empty. She had no money left. She also knew she had missed the last taxi to her village, but strangely, she felt peace inside her heart. She looked up at the dark sky and whispered, "God, please take care of my mother." The next morning, after finding a cheaper ride, Amina finally continued her journey to her village. Her heart was heavy with worry. When she arrived at her home, many neighbors were gathered outside. Her hands trembled as she slowly walked toward the door. She feared the worst. But when she entered the house, something unbelievable happened. Her mother was sitting up on the bed, alive, smiling, healthy. "Amina." Her mother cried with joy. Amina froze in shock. "Mother, you're okay?" Her mother nodded. "Yesterday I was very sick," she said. "But suddenly I felt strength return to my body. It was like God healed me." Tears rolled down Amina's cheeks. At that moment, she understood something very powerful. Helping the beggar had been a test of kindness. And because she chose compassion instead of selfishness, God had already taken care of her mother. Amina hugged her mother tightly, thanking God again and again. Sometimes, the greatest miracles happen when we choose to help others, even when it is difficult. Kindness never goes unnoticed, and sometimes it returns to us in ways we never expect. If this story touched your heart, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and share it with someone who believes in kindness. And tell me in the comments, what would you have done in Amina's situation?